Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the next day at on our Disney vacation, the next park day. We did Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and if you missed the previous one, I will link it down below. But we ended up having the Park Hopper as well as Genie Plus for this trip. We'll talk about it, and then I will roll some footage, and then we'll talk about the next part and roll some footage. So also ignore all of this. My husband and I are sharing like a room, and so his backdrop is right here, and then we also have the dogs' beds that we just moved up here. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. So this specific morning, we started off with our park reservation at Animal Kingdom, and then we hopped over to Hollywood Studios. So when I got up and I started getting ready, I went ahead and reserved our Genie Plus, our first Genie Plus for that day, for Navi River Journey, just because we knew that we wanted to experience it, but we also did not want to wait in like a 70-minute line just for a boat ride. When we opened the park, we jumped over to Kilimanjaro Safari, and that was probably the best ride in Animal Kingdom, just for the simple fact that Sophia was so filled with joy and such excitement. Then we went back later in the week that I'll talk about later on another video, and she every single thing, she actually like remembered some of the animals and was like, oh, that's a bongo. Every single time that we go to the zoo, she's like, Mom, can we go to Animal Kingdom, not the zoo? After we got off the safari, we went ahead, and by that time it was time for us to go to Navi River Journey. So we made our way over to Pandora, and we got like a little bit of a snack because we were like starving. And then we went ahead and hopped on Navi River Journey, and it was cool, especially like all of the intricate details that they had, but I do not think that it was definitely worth waiting 60 minutes in line. Started just kind of like exploring, and we didn't really have like a huge agenda for the day as far as this. We ended up picking up our next lightning lane was for the one with the Yeti. What? Why am I blanking? Expedition Everest. I don't know why that was like such a hard thing for me to remember. We went over and we watched Kite Tales by Expedition Everest and just kind of enjoyed the day. There was not really like a huge agenda. We're just taking in the scenery. It was very, very hot this day. It was our first hot day. Like Magic Kingdom, it was pretty warm in the beaming sun, like at the hottest part of the day. But this day was really hot. And obviously, if you've been to Disney before, you know that Animal Kingdom, there's not really any shade. So we ended up doing Rafiki's Planet Watch as well, because we also had like a dining reservation at Tusker House this day. Was our first and only character dining that we ended up doing. By this time, Sophia was exhausted. The heat was just super draining at this point. We were all just like sweating so much. We ended up coming back down off of Rafiki's Planet Watch and jumping straight over to Tusker House, because by that time it was 2 o'clock and time for our dining reservation. document this moment that my child has fallen asleep. Okay, this is very rare. So then after our dining reservation, we kind of just took our time leaving the park, took a couple pictures, and then we got in our car and we made our way over to Hollywood Studios. Okay, so we made it to Hollywood Studios, but now we are taking shelter because there's a storm. It's starting to rain. So we got in and got everything checked in, and then got some coffee to finish off the night and had to take cover. So our lightning lane just started for Mickey's Runaway Railway at like 6:20. And that's 6:20 now. So we have an hour to get that done, but yeah. So we spent this morning in Animal Kingdom. It was really fun. Did not vlog a lot because we were just like go, and it was busy and hot. So hopefully this storm will cool a couple things off, and then we will be able to hang out here in Hollywood Studios, kind of get the lay of the land before we spend here Wednesday. So at Hollywood Studios, as soon as we got into the park, we got a coffee, and it poured rain for like a good solid maybe 45 minutes, but it was fine, and we were so glad that we were in the park. It actually worked out in our favor because we had a Mickey Runaway Railway. We just hung out like right behind Mickey Runaway's Railway where the Joffrey's Coffee is. So after Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, we actually snagged a lightning lane for the Millennial Falcon Smuggler's Run. I knew that I didn't really care to ride that ride. I mean, I knew it would be fun, but I didn't care. I was more, if I had to choose between that and Rise of the Resistance, I was going to choose Rise of the Resistance. And I also knew that I wanted to try to ride Rock and Roller Coaster. So as soon as Ben checked in for Smuggler's Run, I canceled mine and I booked a lightning lane for Rock and Roller Coaster. And so we ended the park on Rock and Roller Coaster. So we were able to knock out 3 of the rides. Next day, then our next park day at Hollywood Studios, when we opened the park, we got to do other things besides those things, which we ended up doing Runaway Railway again because we loved that ride so much. It was so much fun. That night, we ended up closing the park essentially. Whenever I went in to Rock and Roller Coaster, I got on, but obviously you get onto the pre-show and then you still have to wait in a line, and then that line was a little longer because they were having a little bit of technical difficulties with the ride. By the time that I got out, the park was like 9:05, and so we walked and we took some pictures, and we walked back to our car, and we ended up heading back and getting a great night's sleep. And we had a couple of rest days, which was fantastic. We all needed them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you liked it, and hope you like and subscribe. I still have a couple more episodes in this series of Disney content to come, and obviously we would love to go back to Disney sometime, and hopefully next time I will be vlogging a lot better than having to do this. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.